Safety. Yep.
Ready? Go, boys. Here you go.
Good job. How are you feeling now, Joe? Let's go.
Joe, get your phone here.
Squad will advance.
It's known as Project 800 inside the walls of prisons across New South Wales, but to the public, it's Corrective Services' largest recruitment drive in recent history. Hundreds of new recruits have taken up the task of housing Australia's worst criminals. But do they have the nerve to take on the grueling 10-week physical training program that finishes with them facing an ominous gas chamber deep in the bush in Western Sydney? Wind being knocked out of your chest, it is as if someone is sucking the life out of you with every breath that you take. But it's also a really eye-opening experience because, you know, in a riot situation inside facilities like this one, we see situations that do become out of hand. And rather than having officers go in and having to fight inmates, this is a way to de-escalate a situation. Yes, it might be painful for a few seconds, minutes, but at least it's not placing anyone in severe harm or risk, and this is a great opportunity to get an insight into that.
One.
Squad guys.
News Corp joined a cohort of new recruits as they faced their final hurdles at the Special Operations Group training facility inside the Francis Greenway Correctional Complex in Berkshire Park. To see what it takes to be a newly minted correctional officer as part of Project 800. Already, more than 400 new recruits have undertaken the task of maintaining order in correctional facilities across New South Wales, with an additional 400 expected to test their nerve by the end of the year. Veteran Special Operations Group officers trained to tackle the most dangerous situations took to the training facility to show the wider public what they face behind bars. Their daily regimen consists of defensive tactical training, perfecting the use of restraints, batons and riot shields before they run new recruits through the bush gauntlet, which sees them charge together in double file, facing obstacles before they enter the gas chamber.
Hold to there. Squad, pair double time. Let's go.
Riot training was long, challenging, but an eye-opening experience for the scenarios that officers face in our prisons. But maintaining order inside our correctional facilities doesn't start with riot response. Special Operations Group Security Manager Troy Seychelles said de-escalation tactics were key.
Well, you've been issued some of the equipment that the recruits go through their training with, which is batons and handcuffs and a gas mask. They're all tools that help resolve critical incidents, but the main focus of our training is on resolving it and de-escalating it before we have to get to these pieces of equipment or tools.
Person in the centre, okay, we'll move forward and everyone will create the right space.
Riot training has an emphasis on ensuring there are no chinks in the armour, so to speak. Coordination is key. Working alongside veteran Special Operation Group members to remain in sync while adapting to the situations around you is a challenging task. The weight of the headgear, the gas mask, the riot shield, and even a baton cannot be underestimated. Running in formation with this weight for half an hour is a daunting task. But could you imagine doing this for 5 hours a day?
The overwhelming threat of a tear gas bomb bearing down on you in a shipping container while you're forced to remove a protective gas mask isn't the only hurdle newly minted officers face during their training. They're filed in columns and ordered to work up a sweat in order to experience the full extent of the CS gas, which targets the moist areas of the body. 2 rows of nervous recruits are made, and they follow the orders of their seniors, running through the bush trails outside the walls of Francis Greenway Correctional Complex.
with each step getting closer and closer to what we can only describe as a scene from True Detective. A busted caravan, a shipping container pumped to the brim with CS gas. If you're not scared, you're lying. For recruits, this is an important stage they must pass in their training. They're asked to file into the chamber, gas masks on, before senior officers strike them with a flurry of questions. Then, what they've all been waiting for. Mask off, gas on, lungs burning.
We joined Corrective Services Minister Jeff Lee in the gas chamber, where we faced the same hurdles as the new recruits. The minister shuffled in as officers ordered us all to our places. Then they told us to remove the mask and take a deep breath, answering hard-hitting questions where some of us were a little too honest.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, then you're going to exit. All right, you all good? Yep. All right, you ready? Okay, gas mask off. All right, what's your name?
Jake McCallum.
Jake, okay, Jake, how old are you?
How old? 27.
27. Right, how long have you been in the recruiting game for?
10 years.
10 years. Now, what's your favourite thing about it? Nothing. You don't like it at all. How are you feeling now, Jake? Oh, that's good.
John, you're fine here.
So it's, how you feeling?
Very good.
Very good. Okay, so I'm going you to take your mask off for me, please. What's your name?
Jeff Lee.
Jeff. Okay, how long have you been the minister for?
4 years, Minister.
4 years. How do you like it?
It's tough sometimes.
Tough some days. How do you feel like these days like this when you're in this environment?
Tough.
No good. Let's go, sir.
When you became Corrections Minister, did you ever think you'd be doing something like we've just done?
Look, I think every day as a Corrections Minister you get to see something new, and that was quite an exceptional experience. Just going in there, taking off your mask, I just couldn't breathe, and I can see why it's so important to quickly render and de-escalate those situations. And I think the CS gas is a vital part of that, is keeping not only our officers safe, but de-escalating those potentially dangerous situations.
Lungs burning, eyes watering, laboured breathing. They're just some of the experiences the new recruits, journalists, and the minister face going through the gas chamber.
One of the most important things as I go around the correctional centres, as I go around the prisons, you see dedicated staff. You know, some of them 30, 35 years is not uncommon. And when you see these new recruits actually start entering, they're going to enter a career, not just a job, but a career for their future. They're the ones on the front line. They're the ones that keep our communities safe. They're the ones that keep the prisoners safe. They're the ones that deal with some of the worst criminals that we have in our state. They're the ones that keep our communities safe. So I take my hat off to them. That 10-week training period is so essential that we have qualified people that are ready to react to any situation. Of course, life experiences is good working on site, so this is the beginning of their career.
Yeah, my top tip to anyone that wants to work in corrections is to come into the environment and understand, treat people the way you expect to be treated, with dignity and respect. Don't come in here if you think that your job is to punish any further. That's been decided by the court. Us is to rehabilitate. Okay, so treat everyone with respect the way you would like to be treated yourself.